Today we're going to be talking about how to improve as a halfback, nutrition plans and training loads as a 16-year-old. Welcome to episode 75 of Run It Straight. First question. I'm a halfback at 14 trying to get better. What do you suggest? Okay, so first thing I would suggest, we have 3 Joe Knows videos, a series on exactly this, what to do if you're a halfback, how to get better. So there's probably, I think each episode's like 15, 16 minutes. Yep. So it's like 40, 45 minutes on how to get better as a halfback. Just to summarize that quickly, we break that down into 3 tiers. Tier 1 is your close quarters game. Tier 2 is what we call the engagement zone. And then Tier 3 is command and control. So Tier 1, which is your close quarters, that's talking about your core skills, which is, your catch, pass, carry, your kicking game. So when we're talking passing, we're talking 6 o'clock passes, spiral passes, pop passes, those particular things. And then both your short and your long kicking game. So this is the first thing. If you can't do any of that stuff, forget about trying to organize your team. Okay, that's number 1. Number 2 is your physical attributes. So, you need to be a running threat with the ball, but to be a running threat, you need to have some speed, acceleration, change of direction, a little bit of footwork, those kinds of things. So, your physical size, your strength, all the S&C type questions, right? So that's Tier 1. Tier 2 is the engagement zone. This is where you actually run and execute particular plays. So engaging the line, forcing the defenders to have to make decisions, right? So this could be how to run a block play properly, how to make sure that you get your hips square to the line. So you're not, your hips aren't pointing out towards the sideline and you're bringing all the defenders with you, but rather playing straight and trying to hold up defenders. Last is command and control. This is sort of the top of the pyramid. This is basically your game management. So those are the 3 tiers. I definitely would recommend that you go to have a look at the Joe Knows videos that go in depth about those. One thing that I would say, again, you've got to do them in those particular order. If your skills are no good, you just forget about running a play, because you might be able to direct, we're going to run here, we're going to run there, we're going to run a block play on your C defender. And then if you can't pass the ball to the lead because your 6 o'clock passes is trashed on that side, passing right to left, then what's the point in calling the play? So you've got to get your passing right. But then again, the next step up, there's no point trying to organize what we're going to do on a set if you can't organize an individual play, right? So everything in its place.
100%.
Anything you want to add in on that?
No, just skill and more skill. Get your 6 o'clock pass down, your spiral passes. The halfback does need to have probably the most broad, but the best skill set within the team. Mm-hmm. As Joe just mentioned, there's no point trying to organise an offensive line or attacking play if you can't even get the ball and give it to someone who needs the ball. Just keep hammering your skill. Like it's the off season right now. For example, we have boys in here doing skill upwards of 5-6 times within the week. Right early on, it's just the basics. Your standard 6 o'clock, 6 meter passes, your 10 meter spiral passes. Grip on the ball is a big one that a lot of people don't necessarily train too much. Having the ball, doing drop catches, rollouts around the world, things like that can help improve your skill too. I would just say, obviously the tier system that Joe said, 100%, but skills. If you had to do one thing, hammer your skills for the next 6 months. And you'll see, I think we said it in the last episode that, your skills, if they're at a 3, they'll jump real quick to a 7. And then you just keep working the basics, keep improving, keep pushing that needle forward, and just don't get bored of it.
Yep. And even if you get bored of it, you still got to do it anyway.
Exactly right.
Next question. Where can I get a diet plan for fat loss and muscle gain if I don't know what to eat or where to start? You can have a go at this one.
Alrighty. Little known secret. ChatGPT. I think we've spoken about it a fair bit.
Yeah.
Last episode we spoke about it. I think we first mentioned it a couple episodes ago. But you can literally put in. Let's first decide what you want to do. Do you want to gain muscle or do you want to lose fat? Because they're 2 different goals.
They are 2 different. And unless
someone's brand new.
Unless you're brand new, then you can do both. But let's assume that you're not.
Okay, so let's say you want to gain muscle. Okay, so say you open ChatGPT. I like to call him Charlie. Sometimes you go, all right, does he say his age? So let's go. I'm a 15-year-old male rugby league player. This is my height. This is my weight. I'm trying to gain some muscle. Can you give me a 7-day meal plan? This is what I like. This is what I don't like, and it will spit you out a calorie goal and also a meal plan for you for the whole 7 days.
You can get really deep. You can ask
can
it,
yeah.
can you give me a shopping list to go to Coles?
Yep.
And it'll give you everything that you need to buy, Coles, Woolies, Aldi, whatever.
100%.
And it'll tell you everything. And then even if there's things, can you give me the recipe to make the dinners on each night? So it'll give you the meal plan, it'll give you a shopping list to go and buy the stuff, and then it'll even give you the recipes to make those particular. Cannot emphasize enough how powerful that thing is for you to use.
You can get, as Joe said, you can get ultra specific with it. And then, we would always recommend you track your calories, but even if you don't want to get to that point, you track your weight over a couple of weeks, say your weight's not going up, you can go back into it and go, okay, sweet, I need my calories to increase by 500. Where can you put them in? Again, it'll spit out a meal plan, give you some snack ideas, things like that to add in. So that is the cheapest because you don't have to pay for it. It's pretty much taking over the job of a nutritionist and dietitian these days.
Yep.
And it's just that convenient because you can tailor it to exactly what you like. A lot of boys don't like having their veggies, so they find alternatives to that. They don't like having certain meats, or they've got certain intolerances, and it will make a diet plan around what you need.
So remember, ChatGPT is not just for trying to cheat on your on your essays that you need to do for school. Don't do that, boys. Okay, next question. I played under 16s, Div 1 this year, 174 centimeters, 73 kilos, 60 kilo 1RM bench, 75 kilo 1RM squat, 120 kilo deadlift, 6-minute Bronco. Any tips? I would have liked to know what position you played. Look, those 120 kilo deadlift at a body weight is that's pretty good.
That's very good. Yeah.
Look, all I would say. Look, some of those numbers are a little bit below where we want you to get, like if you were looking at playing reps, okay? But look, it's not horrible, but it needs some work.
Workable.
You've seen, any tips would be to continue to train. I'd want to check that are you actually lifting 4 times a week, upper twice, lower twice. That Bronco, definitely need to get a little bit fitter. At a body weight of 73 kilos and only running 6-minute Bronco, that's a little bit concerning. Because I've got to assume here that you're not a front rower at that weight. Your Bronco really should be a minute faster than that. 73 kilos, you should be running it at 5 minutes or under 5 minutes. So we definitely need to do some conditioning. You are light. So look, if I was to my tips would be, you need to eat in a calorie surplus for the next 6 months before next year when you're going into under 17s. You need to be lifting 4 days a week. And you definitely need to be getting conditioning in probably 3 times a week until that Bronco can get down, and then 2 might be sufficient to maintain it. But anything else that you want to add into that?
No. Like again, all round, Bronco definitely get lower. You get around that 5-minute mark, and again, that will become hard as you try and gain a little bit of weight. So again, just keep at it.
But that bench press, that should be sitting like if 73 is your body weight, that bench should be sitting closer to 90. Your squat should probably be
at 100, maybe 110. Going off that.
Look, and I wouldn't worry too much about the deadlift. We don't get too many players. Like deadlift's got a really high. Doesn't mean you're going to get injured, but it's got a higher rate of injury. We don't, and when people deadlift, the amount of damage done to the muscle, the recovery, it just means that you can't usually run, and it's a field-based sport. So we do RDLs, but regular deadlifts, which is obviously what this is a pretty taxing exercise. Not saying that there isn't a spot for it, but I wouldn't. In 120, you're obviously training it. I'd say he's probably training it considerably hard. I'd back off on that. I mean, who knows? He might have run this Bronco right after doing the deadlift, and his legs were fried. Because that's a big surprising thing that he's got those other numbers in the Broncos at that point. So, So calorie surplus, lift 4 times a week, get some field sessions in 3 times a week. At the front end of the field session, put in a little bit of speed, change of direction, then get into your conditioning work, and then reassess. That's the last one.
It,
All right, so please subscribe. I've forgotten all the things, Cal. What was it?
So please subscribe, hit the notification bell. If you have any comments or questions, please drop it in this video or on an Instagram DM. Joe messages back.
I answer all of those personally. I spend a lot of time every day doing that. So please feel free to ask any question that you like. Other than that, we will see you in the next one.